We need to talk about Tornado Cash. It's been 2 weeks since the crypto mixer was basically banned by US authorities, user transactions blocked because it allegedly breached rules on money laundering. The move prompted all sorts of hand-wringing in crypto. There are worries now about the implications for privacy, the implications for crypto sovereignty, and of course, the use of mixers in particular by criminals or other potential bad actors. At the weekend, the arrest of a coder on the open source protocol used by Tornado Cash prompted protests in the Netherlands. Crypto firms are, of course, now wondering whether they could be investigated next and how much responsibility they ultimately hold for what their users do. So, let's dig into all of this a little bit more with Benjamin Stani from Matrixport. Ben, thanks for talking to us and helping us try to get to the bottom of all this. Can I just get your reaction initially to what's been happening over the last couple of weeks with Tornado Cash, with what it's been doing to crypto and, of course, to crypto prices?
So I think the ban from OFAC, the Office of Foreign Assets Control in the US, on Tornado Cash has been widely seen as an event for many people in the crypto industry of an attack towards privacy. Tornado Cash, as most of the audience would know, is a mixer. It allows for obfuscating the trace of the crypto assets that you're using the mixer for. And with all privacy tools, that obviously is very, very well used by people with nefarious actions. That's where the ban and the regulators want to come in and step in. Now, privacy itself, however, is something that we in the crypto industry have set out. And with the arrest that you mentioned of somebody that contributed to an open source protocol, and that the analogy that a lot of people in the crypto industry were using is you wouldn't blame the person who made the knife for a murder. So why are you putting the guy who put the open source code for Tornado Cash behind bars?
Listen, from an industry point of view, how concerning is this in terms of its implications for mixers, and is this likely to have a chilling effect at all on the broader crypto sector?
It sparked a huge debate in terms of where we are on the decentralization scale, and also where we are in terms of the permissionless nature and the censorship resistance. So what is good to see here is that Tornado Cash, the protocol itself, is operating as intended. The front ends is where the problem were, and where a lot of the players that are supporting these front ends were very quick and in most cases had no choice but to comply with US regulation and just blacklisting any addresses that were in touch with Tornado Cash. Now, that has led to interesting edge cases where in what people call the dusting attack is somebody withdrew small amounts from Tornado Cash and send them randomly to publicly known Ethereum addresses of major people in the industry. And so these people now technically would have to report to OFAC that they received funds from Tornado Cash, even though they actively didn't do anything and probably didn't even have the intent of receiving these funds. In essence, it will have this chilling effect because of that uncertainty, and there's not many developers out there that want to risk their lives to contribute to open source.
Yeah, so what happens next then as far as all this is concerned? What does it mean for investors and what does it mean for everyone else?
So what we've had is this debate about censorship resistance, decentralization, and we've had major people in the industry talking about their various levels of commitments. It's understandable that these big protocols, they first have to comply with the front ends blocking anything from Tornado Cash, because otherwise they are targeted by OFAC too. But it also it depends on where you draw the line in the sand, and we've realized that even decentralized protocols have a lot of centralized attack vectors. We had Alchemy and Fura, for example. They blocked access to Tornado Cash. GitHub blocked the grants for Tornado Cash. We had Discord, for example, that shut down the Tornado Cash Discord organization. So it makes it difficult for DAOs to operate, because a lot of the protocols and services that they're using, they're still on centralized platforms or with centralized attack vectors. And that obviously also raises the questions then, where are we going with Ethereum, this chain itself? If you have players like Coinbase or Lido that have a massive amount of the staked Ethereum, they in theory would have the capability of censoring transactions, and that's why there was a debate about to what level we are actually decentralized.
Great, all right, fantastic. Ben, thanks so much for that. Benjamin Stani from Matrixport, fascinating as always.